to 1FM.
Walking the streets, she has a certain quota to fill. He wants to buy a new Seville. Olivia the slave got distracted on her way to grandma's house.
We are the Urban Heat. Expect the unexpected. Unorthodox radio from Boston and beyond. Heat981fm.com and iHeartStation.
Nancia, Smokehouse, it's the Urban Heat. Shout out to Coach La.
Coach L, it's time to listen to conversations that's gonna keep you winning. Sunday nights at 10 p.m. on the Urban Heat, just call it. Conversations with Coach La 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 La. Conversations with Coach La 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 La. If you got something on your mind, you can call him, you can hit a line. She the realest, ooh, she the realest. You can tap in, now I always get a business.
Hey, what? Hey. What's going on, beautiful people in the land? You're listening to another episode of Conversations with Coach La. This is your favorite around the way therapist. Y'all might have heard my new track, my new intro. It's season 6. Can y'all believe it? Season 6, 2024. And tonight, I got a very, very special guest in the building. You heard her lovely voice on the new intro, and I'm super excited about it. She's from Cambridge, Massachusetts. For the longest time, I thought she was from Boston, but I found out that she's actually from Cambridge. She recently performed for first night, and it was lit. I saw the crowd, and she had the place was just warmed up because we've been getting some cold weather in Boston. And for the last 3 years, she has been doing her thing. She's been on NECN, NBC10 in Boston, which is broadcast in all 6 New England states. Not only that, one of the things I love that she did is she actually sang the National Anthem for the Boston Red Sox, which was super, super dope. She's also been nominated for the Boston Music Awards, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And she continues to empower women throughout mentorship and community. And some of the other dope things she's done, which I want to know about some of these people she done opened up for. She's opened up for artists such as Cardi B, Ashanti Ja Rule, Lil Kim, Keyshia Cole, Lil Mo, and so many more. So Nancia recently also released her 5th, you heard that? Her 5th studio album, Queenality. And the executive producer was Jay Hunt of Smokehouse Media. So can we welcome Miss Nancia in the building on Conversations with Coach La. What's going on, girl?
Hey, what's
up? We've been waiting for this moment to get you here to talk about all of the dope things that you've been up to. I'm a fangirl of you right now because I've been watching you for a while. And it takes a lot of tenacity and courage to be in the entertainment industry, especially here in Boston, because we're a different type of environment here from what I've come to understand, although I'm a Bostonian. So super excited for you to be here. And that opening was dope.
Thank you.
So thank you. You you killed it. Feels so special. For the longest time I was on the show, Jonathan Gates, the Morning Cafe, everybody else got their intros and everything. I was like, I want my intro. So thank you for putting that together for me. I'm super excited to have that. So I gave you a bio, but one of the things I like to ask people when they come on this show is, who are you? That's not on this piece of paper that I just read. Who is Nancia?
Nancia is a queen, and she loves food. She loves movies, love family. Once I turn the music off, it's family time, it's friend time, it's me time. Just because behind the scenes, there's a lot of preparation for any and everything you do when it comes to the music, because you have to prepare yourself for shows, band rehearsals, communications. You have to do administrative work. You got to do vocal work, whatever it is that you're doing. You're constantly preparing, and so you have to always be in artist mode. So beyond the bio, I'm not in artist mode.
Yeah,
I'm in Nancia mode. I'm Queen Nancia mode.
Queen Nancia mode. So you mentioned family. Would you consider family one of your core values?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the foundation for everything. It's how you learn about life. It's how you go out into the world. Your parents teach you everything that they know, and you go out into the world, and you do as much as you can with what you know. And the first line of wisdom and knowledge is your parents. And even with, if you have siblings, it teaches you how to interact and engage with other individuals and so forth. So
dope. Now, do you have siblings?
I do have siblings. I'm the oldest of 4.
Okay, all right.
So I've always been told, you're the eldest, you should know better. So that's always been in my head. Being an example, I'm the first to graduate, first generation. My mom was an immigrant. She came here, Haitian. So, a lot, how it is with when you're an immigrant and your parents are traveling into the States. It's a big thing, because it's like we came here to have a better life. So get your better life.
Listen, you ain't playing around with you. You're
right.
supposed to do something with your life.
I didn't come here and risk everything.
Yes.
So
how do they feel about you going into the entertainment industry, being that you are Haitian? I know a couple of my clients talk about, lawyer. You either go in the medical field, go in the law, or engineer, but something to that stature. So when you decided to become a professional entertainer, how did that work out in terms of your family?
So, yeah, absolutely right. Haitians are strict in the household, and I couldn't do anything unless I graduated. So that wasn't even up for discussion. It's like, if you're going to stay here, you're going to be in my house, you're going to have to graduate. You have to go to college. That's what I did. Got my BA in criminal justice.
I did say law, y'all. Y'all heard that, right?
I still want to be a lawyer too. That's the crazy thing. Like I love advocacy work. I have a passion to help people. So it's just been something I've always been interested in. But music has come along in its way where it's just an added blessing, I guess I could say. Like God gave me gifts, and so I'm using them.
So I think about, when you think about being a lawyer, I think a lot of your tracks, you speak to a lot of the advocacy, especially when it comes to women.
Yeah.
So when did you make that decision to sort of use your voice in your music? Because some of it is controversial. You, like I told you, you get a little saucy. You talk a lot of trash on them tracks.
You said I said spicy.
You get spicy.
Cayenne pepper.
Yep. You sure do. But what I love is that there's a lot of diversity in the songs. Like, love songs, empowerment songs. You talk some trash on some of the songs. A lot of features. Who has been somebody that, dead or alive, that you would want to work with? If you could pick anybody.
Whitney. She's my icon. Always.
Yes.
Or always will be. I feel like she's part of the reason why I sing. When I first saw her sing, it was just like, oh my God, like that's what music can do. That's what voice. And I ended up having a voice, and So it would be her.
So were you a little girl who always wanted to sing?
I would say yes and no, because it kind of fell upon me. Went to church. You know how it goes. You go to church, you sing. It's kind of like in the program. You go to choir rehearsals. So whether you can sing or not, you sing. And then they discovered that I had a voice. So then it was like, then they just make you do the leads. And at that point, you know, it's just, I kept doing it because it was positive. It was good. It was giving me purpose. It was teaching me things, you know, about music and what my abilities were. So.
So that's something I think I didn't know, is that you started in church. Although that's so many singers' story, right, that they started in church. But I didn't know that was your story.
Yeah. It was I want to say not necessary or necessary. It's just kind of like the program. Like if you grow up in church, it's encompassed with music, especially a black church.
Right.
It doesn't matter what black church you go to, or the religion, Pentecostal, Seventh-day Adventist, Baptist. It is encompassed with music. Like,
true.
All day, every day, morning, noon, and night, you're singing hums, acapellas, everything. So it's like a training camp for vocalists.
That's true, but you could always ended up being a Sunday school teacher too.
I could have, yeah.
Or in the what's the other server, or you know, people that usher. You could have been a lot of other places. Not everybody ends up in the front singing leads.
True.
So it sounds like it was a calling too.
It was, because I kind of remember the first time I sang, and it was His Eyes Is on a Sparrow, and I was a part of the children's choir. And my the choir director, she gave me a solo part, and then I sang it, and everyone was like, and I think I was like, I don't know, I forgot how old I was, but I didn't know what was happening. I was like, this is a good thing. Did I mess up? But they were just taken aback that I had this ability, and then that's when it was like, you need to sing more,
right?
And then
So when did it click? Oh wow, I did good, and that this feels good, and I want to do it.
It never clicked. Sometimes I'm not saying it never clicked. Sometimes I'm still amazed. Like, I just did the National Anthem for the Red Sox last year. I was, you know, and people are like, oh, do you get nervous? I'm like, yes, because I'm in front of 50,000 people and nothing changes, and you need to be on point, and every word has to be spoken, sang on point.
Right.
And, you know, I ask God to bless my voice. I practice, I rehearse, and sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I did it. Like,
yes. I know that feeling.
Oh my goodness, I did it again and again and again, and each time it's a challenge. Each time it's a blessing. Each time, you know, I'm trying to do better. You know,
so I'm gonna ask my standard questions, but what just popped up for me? Tell me about one of your best performances and one that you're like, oh my God, that went totally wrong, and you had to sort of pick yourself back up.
Ooh, one of my best performances, I guess I could say, was my album release last year for Queenality. It was just...
That's the rooftop.
Yeah, it was
that
just...
was lit. I'm sorry I missed that, but
it's okay.
The footage was... Ooh,
you liked it?
It was, yeah.
It was a different experience. I think it's one of my best performances because... I had a live band.
Yes.
The band.
The space.
Yes, the space. We were just rocking out. People showed love. They came out. Jay was there, and he made sure everything was on point with sound. Like, that's really important to have. If you can have someone to take care of that for you, and just doing media as always. But I think it was one of my best performances because I wanted to create an experience, and I never done that before on a rooftop.
Right.
You know, so...
You was giving real glam girl superstar vibes.
Yeah.
Donna Summer, Whitney, you was in your bag.
I was, yeah.
You was in your musical bag, you know, and you seem so happy and excited about the project. Which I think adds to it, right?
Very so. The project before that was about 2 years ago, which was Heir to the Throne. But, you know, it's like a challenge trying to get, you know, production right, getting the music right. And in between, I'm doing other things. So I went to Tufts University, IMP, to get my nonprofit certificate. So I was multitasking in between the 2 years of doing things. And I got my business certificate. And then, you know, I'm still performing. So I'm multitasking, going to the studio. So it was it was a like, I did it.
Yes, yes. Freeing.
We did it, right?
Yes. Yes, of course. You have one of the best managers in the game. I see you constantly posting about how hard he goes and the things that he's been able to do to elevate your career. So I think, you know, it's always a blessing when you have somebody in your corner like that.
Yeah.
That's making your dream come through and true, and also their dream too.
Yes.
So you mentioned that having a support team and people around you, how important that is.
Mm-hmm.
So what about one that wasn't so great? One that you sort of was like,
Ooh.
let me pick my face up and try again next time.
Wow. I mean, I've had a few bad performances. Wow. Like, I would say I would blame it on me. Well, I would blame it on me for not being prepared for the show. So doing so many things, promoting and not practicing and just not being on point. So being distracted, I would say, was the cause of that, for that bad performance. Like, I walked off and I was like, I hated what I did. Like, I knew I didn't do a good job. And it, you know, like when you do something so much, you know when it's good and you know when it's bad. Even when people tell you like, oh, you did a great job. In my head, I'm like, you know, can we swear? No.
You can't swear.
No,
but
okay.
They can see you on camera. She was making a really good face.
I'm like,
But you know, we don't talk enough about when things don't go right.
yeah.
Right? A lot of times you hear people talking about the highlight reel when everything goes well. Right? And I think there's so much to be learned in the moments that it doesn't. And one of the things I just appreciate that you just did, although I didn't ask you to do that, you immediately started to talk about the pieces that you took accountability for in terms of why it didn't go well.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Well, I can attest that to Hunt, because he's all about work ethic, and he knows what I'm capable of because he's worked with me for so long. So I can tell if I'm not doing a good job by the way he's looking at me, like, you know. And then also I can tell, and then and having that person to reflect your capabilities, and every time I have a show or I'm singing or I'm doing something, we have a conversation about how did it go, what could have been better, you know. And I think he's taught me that as far as like self-evaluation. And it's hard to do that because as an artist you love everything you do, and so you have to kind of like,
do we really though? Do you really love everything you do? Truth be told,
no. Yeah,
I think most people are super hard on themselves.
Artists is different. We love every song we make. Every song is a hit. We just have this thing when we're in a creative mode. We have to believe in what we're doing, even if we don't think it's good. Sometimes I be thinking songs that like dope, and then I go back to it like 2-3 months later, or even 6 or a year later, and I'm like, oh, this is trash. Why did I even? And it's because you're in such a creative mode, and you know that's the process though. So we can't be I'm not saying we can't be faulted for that, but it's just a part of the process, and someone has to be like, okay, that's not really dope though, you know. So
that's interesting. So I mean, I can see both perspectives. So yeah, I can see people being hard on themselves, and then other people having more realistic stance. But
yeah,
you
as
know
an
that
artist,
everything
you need to be
is
scaled back. Like it's when an artist says they love what they're doing, I understand what they mean, because they're in a creative mode. Right. So almost like when a painter paints and they might splash something on the wall, like, this is magnificent. Like, what? You know? But
in my lane, in my world, we call that being delusional. But, you know.
I'm just saying, you know, like, and I've seen it and I'm like, what? You know, but I understand from an artist and creative perspective, we're crazy a little bit, I would say.
Well, that makes it good. It makes me think about Andre 3000. I mean, and his whole album, that's just nothing but instrumentals and him on his flute. People probably thought he was bananas to put that out there. Yeah, but there's a whole population of people, including myself, that use meditation music. Right. And to have him have created something that I can now use with my clients to meditate and do mindfulness, I'm like, thank you,
Right.
right? I can use my, somebody that I know.
And
But
I'm pretty
sure a
sure
lot
he
of
went
people
through a
thought
process
it
of
was
thinking, like, should I be doing this? Is this kind of, am I tripping? You kind of have to, like, think out the box.
You do. And, recently when I did an event, my co-host was, like, really opposed to us doing a particular activity. He did not think it was going to hit. I'm like, it's going to be great. Deep down in my mind, it's like, I hope it is, because he's telling me don't do it, right? And it was. So you just never know. But I feel where you're coming from. So you guys are tuned into the Urban Heat. We are radio with the purpose. This is Conversations with Coach La, your favorite around the way therapist. Tonight, I have the R&B sensational Miss Nancia in the building with me, talking about artistry and, resiliency as an artist. So one of the questions I ask people that come on the show is, what does therapy mean to them? So when I ask you that, what comes to mind? What does therapy mean to Nancia?
So therapy means letting go. Like, if you're holding something, I feel like when you're holding something in you and you don't have a safe place to let it go, therapy that's what it means to me. Like, therapy is that place. It's supposed to be that place, is my understanding, or that's just what I think it is.
Yeah, I think that's true. So when you brought up your music, I think of an artist that I've had on before. Their music is their therapy, and that means that everything is not pretty and wrapped in a nice bow, and not everything's a hit, right? But it's coming from a place from your soul. So regardless of people, everybody may not feel it.
Yeah.
That's why there's always B-side tracks, right? Like, they're not, they're not the ones that get all the airplay, but they are still important because they're speaking to whatever's going on in an artist's life at the time.
Yeah.
So I asked you earlier if you wrote all your own music, and you were telling me save it. So how do you get the inspiration for your songs, and do you write them all yourself?
So I write 90% of my songs. Shout out to J.O. City. Shout out to Genius. They are amazing writers. They've written on a couple of my albums, and they really do a good job capturing the type of music I like to sing. I think I write 90% of my music. I'm an emotional person. I wear my heart on my sleeves. Music is my therapy, where I just write.
Yep.
I write. And then, it becomes a release. So I feel like my music has been that for me, as far as like how I write my music there, which is why you say, oh, you have a variety. I was like, yeah, because there's different things happening in my life, man. And it be, you have happy times, sad times, frustrating times, discovery times, intimate times. And I like to look at it as like a book, somewhat. Like chapters in your life or different things. And then there's the business side, which is what I've learned. There's a part where the music's for you, but then you have to write music for the people. And
Tell me more about that. What do you mean music is for you, but you write it for the people?
So you need what I've learned is you need a balance. I've learned through many experiences that when I'm getting booked for a show, they're looking for particular music in a particular act because they have a particular audience. So I've performed for hip hop shows. I opened up for the Locks, with Jay. I need hip hop music. I need hard music. I need to be able to write, perform, and deliver and embody that. I love hip hop, but I love R&B more. But, hip hop's dope. It's a part of the culture. So I'm doing music that I like, but then I'm also doing music that I have to make sure that I am providing a service, is what I realize now. That is what I'm doing. So even for First Night Boston, I wrote not even for you want a theme song, and she's like, I want my theme song. And I say, okay, cool. Let me see, this is not about me. This is about Coach La. She wants a theme song. She's been waiting. Okay, let me, kind of get an idea. And I have to study, and I have to look, and I have to listen to hundreds of beats. Then I talk to Jay, and I'm like, hey, what do you think? This is what I got. It's a process, and I now find joy in that. When I'm like, I hope they like it. If they don't, all right, let me get back to the drawing board. and even just learning about the person that I'm trying to create the music for. So there's music for me, then there's music for the people.
Yeah, that's a very good explanation. Because even when I curate events, it's like what I think I would want doesn't necessarily speak to my audience. So I have to be mindful of my audience. And not only mindful of my audience, but what are the takeaways? What do I want them to experience when they come to something? What do I want them to leave with? So when you think about your music, are you where you want to be in terms of the level, or is there more that you want to accomplish?
There's more I want to accomplish. I am grateful for where I am because a lot of people don't last this long in Boston with music. I am not, for me, it's about the art and the artistry. I have seen the entertainment industry in Boston for a while, and I've seen change happen that I'm really excited about, even the support and the events that they're having, which is very encouraging, very exciting, and also just, like almost like a relief, like finally someone is noticing, urban music, BIPOC music, LGBTQ, and including these different groups and making a space for them and us to perform, to be at, because back in the days, R&B wasn't lit like that. R&B wasn't the thing. And it was more about numbers. But now there are these different programs happening where they're actually supporting and they're making calls to find people like that. I've even had people reach out to me like, hey, we have this happening. We, just want you to come, and we have a budget, and we just want to make sure we include you. Oh, okay, great. Thanks. Usually, 10 years ago, you'd have to search high and low for an R&B event, but now they're everywhere. So
that's dope. But I consistency is so important. And I think, one of the things I've admired about your journey and watching you is you being consistent. Now, you made a pivot recently, and you had posted that you were getting grants, and you just mentioned getting your nonprofit and getting your business certificate. I think that also is a testament to sort of changing from just being an entertainer and a singer to having your movement with Queenality and your product and your merchandise. Can you talk a little bit about when you made that shift to sort of say, I'm going to do more than just sing?
That is a really good question.
Thank you.
I guess a few years back, I made that pivot because as I was going into more spaces in Boston, like I've been performing, but I mean like local spaces, I've had other females come up to me and ask questions. Other females to come and say, hey, I really admire you. I've been watching you and da-da-da. You're, one of my top female R&B artists that I just, I admire. I was like, oh, wow. I didn't even know. Oh, wow. Thank you for letting me know. And that happened on several occasions. And then at some point I was communicating on a consistent basis with these young queens, and it made me think maybe I should be, like you're saying, doing more with my music, like creating a platform so that they can have a safe space or they can feel connected to me in a more educational way, I could say, a more beneficial way where they can receive knowledge and feel confident about going out there and doing their thing. Because one of the main things that happened to me when I started is I didn't know anything. I didn't know about Pro Tools. I didn't know about plugins. I didn't know about, literally. So when I say I came from the church, you sing in church, and you sing in the mic and that's what you do, but you're not trained in the professional aspect of, recording and the music business. So I had to learn a lot on my own. I had to reach out to a lot of people on my own, and it was, I think it just would have been a little bit different if there was some type of entity or a person I could reach out to. Jay has been very instrumental to my career as far as knowledge. He's taught me almost everything about recording and media, just so much that I've learned, and that's because he's lent his knowledge to me, and willingly too. So imagine trying to have a conversation with a videographer, but you don't know the kind of camera they shoot with. You don't understand why they're charging what they're charging. You don't understand the process of the production itself. But then you have all these high expectations. So you kind of, falling short on your own for not being knowledgeable about what that process is like if you're going to be an artist and this is what you expect, right? Mm-hmm. So how can you expect or know what's to come if you're not educated or aware about it? Mm-hmm. And that was my biggest thing as far as like teaching the girls all of that information and mentoring them, through that process of artist development and so forth. So
that's really dope. Now, I didn't know that you were doing artist development and you were doing mentorship on that level. So these are women who have aspirations of being in the music industry that you're mentoring. That's super dope.
Oh, thank you.
I think that somewhere that I got lost. I knew you were doing mentorship, but I just thought it was more around young girls and just women empowerment in general. But that adds another layer of just your way of giving back in terms of a lot of people, like you said, don't know what contracts are, don't know the lingo, and just building your confidence to be able to know what you're bringing to the table is a phenomenal skill to flex. So go on, Queen.
I appreciate it. Just it means a lot to me. It does to make sure that I'm able to give back in that way. I mean, it really does. Like that's one of my biggest passions. So when I perform, if I have room and space for my mentees to come perform, which they did open up for me for my album release, and it was just a beautiful moment.
Wow.
It was so beautiful. So shout out to Jill. She's one of my mentees, and I did arts development with her for her album release. And we went through a whole boot camp. We went through a whole process. But it was an amazing process to be able to sit there and have someone there through that process. One of my biggest thing about mentorship is not feeling alone.
Right.
And, as a female, because it's a male dominated industry. So I try to say we have our kings who protect us. Shout out to Jay Hunt. But to have different conversations that females have that you can't have with a male, right? That you're not comfortable with, where you can be like, is this okay or is that okay or whatever the case may be. And I try to create that space where they can feel comfortable speaking on those terms and feeling confident and then going back out there okay, I got this.
Yes. It's beautiful to have support and mentorship. And the sooner you can get it, the better. Mm-hmm. I think about in terms of having even a therapist and a coach, most successful people, right? You pick anybody that they have coaches and mentors and guidance, and that has been such a phenomenal change or pivotal point in their careers, is having people around them that were supportive and could give them guidance. So that's really dope. So we also know too, speaking of my side of the lens, which is the clinical side, serving, giving back is one of the ways to boost your mood and your level of happiness. Yeah. So, I was just curious, when you decided to add that on, did you feel, what do I want to say, a boost of euphoria, what you want to call it, like this feel good inside, I'm doing good. I found my purpose. This feels nice.
I'm gonna be honest, I was nervous because I was surprised that they wanted information. I was like, well, actually, I do know stuff. That's what I was like. Right. Actually, asking, what is it like? Well, I mean, my experience, I guess, is important,
Yes. I read something once, and it said, if you are just a few steps ahead, you can teach something. You know that? If you are just a few steps, you don't have to be too far, but just a little bit ahead, you can reach back and give somebody guidance because you're already ahead of them.
Right.
So it's really important to serve. Shout out to Queen King.
Yes.
Because one of the things that she did when I spoke at Write the Vision,
which was amazing, I gotta say, you had me in tears, girl. I was like, I really need a therapist now because you had the whole room in a transit,
captured.
It was amazing.
Wow.
It was amazing.
I went into a space.
It was amazing.
I went into a space and I prayed that I would be given the words. And I went into a space. I couldn't even tell you. When I was done, I just felt like, I don't know, like almost like exhausted, but not in like an exhausted way, but just like I had poured out. Like I just needed to sit down and take a drink of water and just take it all in. And I think it didn't hit me until people just wanted to come and talk and hug me. I think for like a good 30 minutes, all I was doing was just hugging and talking to people. After I was done, I was just overwhelmed, you know, in like a good way. And it was scary too, to see that impact and realize just how powerful, you know, how much power you have in yourself.
Right.
So, I mean, I think of you as an artist when you're in front of 50,000 people and you can get them to, you know, scream and sing with you. Like, I can't even imagine being Beyonce. Like, when I was watching her perform in the movie version of her tour, I was like, goodness. I mean, that many people inspired and loving you must be overwhelming.
I mean,
that's just like a whole nother level.
It is a whole nother level. And it's, again, it's powerful. It's more powerful than you think, just connecting.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's the not feeling alone part is I think what I feel like the essence of really connecting means, as far as like when you have an art and you share it with somebody.
Yes.
And you shared your art of therapy that day and everyone connected with you to the point where, again, like you said, like for 30 minutes, people want to come talk to you, hug you.
Yeah.
And
I get tingles just going back to that moment. And I saw people's faces. I tried not to get to, because I needed to stay focused, but I saw people crying, you know, because I talked about shame and guilt, which being the thing that holds you back.
Right.
From your purpose of doing what you're supposed to do, because you feel like, and that can be imposter syndrome too, you feel like you're not ready. Right. Or, you know, how can I go help people when my life isn't completely the way it needs to be, or I got the stuff that I went through in my past and, you know, I feel like I can't share that with people. They're going to judge me. So how can I help someone? So, you know, I think that topic hit home for so many people in terms of like just feeling like, you know what, I'm not deserving or I'm not enough because I have a past, or I've made some mistakes or I did something wrong. So yeah, I'm just gonna turtle up over here and I'm gonna hope nobody sees me. And
a lot of people need to hear that.
And with so many of us have that in common, that there's something that we're not so proud about. But is that enough to keep you from doing what you're supposed to do?
I call that, it's a tricky place to be in, you know, because you just don't know what's going to happen because you're trying to find out how you should deal with it, I guess.
Well, that's where, you know, therapy can be helpful. It's just processing it. And why I bring that up is finding out you're not alone.
Yeah.
And that your authentic voice and your true self can connect with people, because some people need to hear your story. Yeah. And that story could be that thing that helps people open up and try. Yeah. So shout out to some of the listeners, people that are on here. Tamara, thank you. Miss Pat Brown, she says she loves the show. Thank you. Good evening, Miss Sandra Jackson. Hey, sis. Appreciate you guys. Everybody on iHeartRadio, thank you for tuning in. Once again, you guys are tuned into Conversations with Coach La. It is season 6, and I am still in awe that I have made it through a year and a half, and we're at episode 69. Nobody think anything fresh, but it's episode 69, season 6, and I couldn't have had a better first guest to start the season off with, because I know you got some big things that you're going to be doing in 2024. So I want to hear about some of your projects, and that's going to be the great segue into the Bet on Self, right? Okay.
So before we do that, I need to give you your gift.
Oh, no.
Because I got you the Queen box. Oh. And it is important that we set this up before, because everyone's got to know, like, you know what I'm saying? Coach Lai, you've been, every time I've seen you, you've been so welcoming and just queening. Like, again, just open arms and the impact that you have. You definitely have a talent. Please keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, thank you, sis. Oh my God, this is so nice. Guys, look at this. Look at this. Oh my God, I gotta do an unboxing.
Yeah.
Do y'all see this? Do you see it? It's in the camera.
We're hoping you can unbox it.
I'm gonna
now.
do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm letting them see. You see beautiful Nancia on here looking like a whole queen. Oh wait, let me give you the other side. You gotta get the other side. Hold on.
So that's from the Queenality album that was released.
And let me ask, did Jay do this?
Yes.
Did the photo shoot?
Yes, he did.
I gotta get me a photo shoot, okay? I need me one because Jay makes everybody look good. Wait, he made a post, you guys, and the post said, I don't want to mess this up. He said, I don't want to shoot the it girl. I want to make the girl the it girl, something like that. I probably messed it up.
Okay.
It was something like that. But pretty much, you ain't got to worry about it, sis. Jay got you.
Right.
Just come ready. He going to make you be that girl.
Exactly.
Okay? All right. All right. Y'all ready to see me open some gifts? Oh, my goodness. This is so adorable. It's a card. Mm-hmm. Should I do everything? Open up everything?
Yes.
Okay. We can keep talking.
We're gonna celebrate season 6.
Season 6 with Coach La. Getting gifts.
Mm-hmm, getting gifts.
Okay. This is so beautiful. I just want to take a whole picture. It's so much goodies in here. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a thank you very much card. And thank you for all you do, Queen. Happy New Year. Love, Nancia and Smokehouse Media and Queenality. Card. Oh, camera's there. All right, so I'm going to get this box open.
The golden box.
The golden box. I'm trying not to mess up the computer over here with the keyboard and stuff. Okay. Ooh, wow. Look at all of this cool stuff in here. Oh, my gosh, this chocolate. Oh, my goodness, there's so much cute stuff in here. A bottle opener, y'all. This is so cute. Oh, my goodness.
For the 19, yep. So that's the exclusive Queenality card. You tap it and it brings the album up. So yes.
Oh, and she gave me chocolate. Oh my goodness. Y'all know, you're trying to make me cry on my first. What is this? Is this alcohol? Mm-hmm. This is too cute, y'all. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay. Wait a minute. It's more.
There's more. More for the queen.
More. Look at this.
So that's a crown brooch that you could either pin on your sweater or you can pin it on your backpack. I always have one on my backpack that I really love.
I know where I'm put it. I'm going to put it on my beret.
Yay.
That's going to be cute. Okay. All right. Oh, my goodness.
And then there's a small box inside of a box.
Uh-oh. Okay.
By the way, I love wrapping gifts.
This is just adorable. I know who I need to get to put together my stuff. Oh, it's more candy. She know I like candy, y'all. Mm-hmm. So there's some candy. There's chocolates. There's a wine bottle opener. And wait, I'm not done.
Nope.
I got more.
There's more.
Ooh, this is
the
like my
Queenality
birthday.
Box experience, okay?
This is like my birthday.
It is.
I feel like when Beyonce sent people merch, y'all better stop.
So you got the Queenality handbag. It's really cute. I'm big on bags. I love bags.
Y'all see
you got the Queenality shirt.
Y'all see this?
Oh, open that up.
The shirt?
Yep. You got to open it up.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh, y'all. I don't even know what to do. I'm just too excited. Okay.
It's well deserved.
Oh, this is like a box like none other, okay? And I'm not even done. It's like Christmas on Conversation. Season 6, what better way to... Oh, my goodness. Okay. It has my name on it, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all see this?
For the queen, Coach La.
Okay, now I'm special.
Yes, you
are. I was already special, but this
She's
is
special.
Special. Nice, Nancy. Oh my goodness.
You're welcome. Oh. Respect our queens.
Oh my goodness.
For Black History Month.
Oh my goodness. This is. I'm just knocking stuff over. Sorry, Marv. I'm so. Oh, and this is a honey.
Yes.
This has on my name. This has my name on it too, y'all. For all of the listeners on iHeart, excuse me. I was not expecting a box, but this is a hoodie. I'm not gonna open up everything, but my name is on this too. Do y'all see that? Let me put this in the thing.
For the Queen Coach Live.
Oh, do y'all see this? Oh, I don't even know what to do. The box in itself is just amazing. Is there more?
There's more.
Oh,
There's one more, I think.
I'm feeling it. No, she did not. She done got me some limoncello, guy.
Yes. So I am sponsored by Fabrizia. Shout out to Fabrizia.
Fabrizia,
Yes.
thank you.
And that's one of their drinks that I am promoting. I love it. It's sweet. It's nice. So we're going to have to pop that open real quick because I
Can
brought
we?
some cups.
Can
and
we do
yes,
that?
and
So
make
this
some
is
drinks.
really good to make lemon drops with. One of Marv's favorite drinks is lemon
Yes.
drops. He got me drinking lemon drops. Oh my goodness, Nancia, this is just, this is more than I could have ever asked for, sis. We
It's
gotta get
more.
lots of pictures. I think I'm gonna be wearing Nancia gear for the next couple of weeks. Y'all gonna be sick of me because I'm gonna have on a new t-shirt every show until I wear everything in the box, okay?
I appreciate it.
I'm gonna
so
wear
glad.
everything in the box. This is amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you for giving us you know, like you're always queening, and I love the fact that you're always supporting and promoting, and
Thank you.
you're serving too, you know. So I just feel like, you know, just to give back and to like celebrate you is so important. And I'm happy to start the year off with Smokehouse and Coach Live.
This is so amazing. Oh my goodness. I'm just. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, I'm a Cancer.
Thank you.
You're a Cancer too.
See?
So
Get
you
emotional.
know how that goes,
If you
right?
start
Us-
crying, I'm gonna start crying. Yeah.
So it takes surprises like. Okay, let me take a deep breath. When I started doing conversations with Coach La, it was how else could I give back, and also a tribute to my dad, right? So my father thought when he heard me on the radio, he's like, "Baby, I think you found your thing," and then I kind of stepped away for various reasons. And this platform has been here for a while, and I just didn't have the time and the schedule, and so picking a Sunday at 10 p.m. was like the best time for me because I wouldn't have to cancel any clients. I wouldn't have to do anything. And the biggest challenge was, will you be able to keep this up on a Sunday night?
Yeah.
And will people come to a show on a Sunday night to be interviewed? So these were some of the barriers and some of the things that I wasn't certain of. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it.
Right.
And I have a tendency to just do things and jump out there.
Yeah.
And so my father used to always tell me to bet on myself. So that was really where the idea came from. Originally, it was just my way of connecting to my father and reminding myself in the moments where I would get scared or be unsure of myself, I would hear his voice say, "Baby, bet on yourself." So I started saying it. It became a hashtag. Then next thing you know, it's become part of the brand. And then I decided to do a course because I'm like, you know what? Not everybody had a father or someone that was telling them that. So how do I take that and sort of make it a tribute to my father, but also inspire others to bet on themselves? So bet on self is a mindset. It is a mantra. And it is overall just a way of being, right? And reminding yourself not to be selfish or to not think about other people, but to remember to put yourself and your goals and your dreams first. And also to remember that at some point in your life, you can't look at what other people are not doing or didn't do, and you have to take control over your life, which is why I admire when you took accountability right out the gate. Like, what could I have done differently? What can I do to change my situation? So when you think about that, what is one of Nancia's bet on self moments?
I'm gonna be honest. I had lost my voice 3 months ago in October after the album release, and when First Night hit me up, they was like, oh, we want you to perform again, da da da. And I wasn't confident. I was unsure. I felt, I guess, almost like, I don't want to say disappointed, but like I just felt empty, I guess. And I was like, can I do this? Should I do it? I'm taking, so I, go to vocal therapy to work those things out, be consistent, and see what happens. And the voice in me was like, maybe you could do this, but you have to put in the work for therapy, and don't do no shows, limit access. And I was very not confident. And then I had to take a bet on myself and say, I think you can do this. If you try to find a way to get your vocals at least at 50%, I think you can do this. Because for me, it's like, I want 100%. I want to be able to, I want to be fully operational. But that's not always going to be, right? It's not always, I guess the lesson is, nothing's not always going to be perfect, So being an artist, being a vocalist, your voice, will not always be perfect. So you have to learn how to work through your challenges. But I'm the type of person, I don't want to do it if it's not what it needs to be.
Right.
Just because I'm not confident, and I don't like questioning myself. I like to rehearse, know what I'm doing. I plan, I write stuff down, and so I betted on myself.
Yeah.
And I had that conversation with Jay, and he was like, yeah, I think you're doing better, and I think you can do it. So I was like, all right, cool.
Right.
Let's do this. And I took a bet on myself, put in the work, and I was able to deliver the performance. Not the way I want to, but to realize that it's not about me. It's about, I have a band, and they're excited to perform.
Right.
And they want to, be on stage. I have Jay Hunt, where he's going to be taking photos and documenting that night. I think about all the different aspects of a performance or an event that I'm involved with, and how it not just benefits me, but other people that's involved, whether if it's my mentees, the band, Jay, hey, Jay, this is an event. You should come down, take photos, and that's more content, right? So we're both working and tag teaming to see how we can, extract the most out of a situation. So, it's multi-dimensional, but I bet it on myself, and it worked out. So I'm glad it did.
Thank you for sharing that, because I don't think you publicly shared that you had lost your voice.
I didn't. I was like, oh, maybe I should talk about I don't know. It's almost like a depression somewhat. You just feel, for me, I feel bad that I can't do what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's when you realize it's not about money. It's not about fame, because people book me all the time. They love that I love music. I think is what I realize my power is. It's we love that you love to perform, whether if it's 50,000 or 10 people. It doesn't matter to me. I enjoy music. I enjoy and love music. And sometimes I sometimes to rejuvenate myself, or to get to regain inspiration, I go on YouTube and I watch Whitney sing. I see, you have the great still singing. Anita Baker's on tour.
Yeah.
You have SWV, and I was actually watching their reality show where they all lost their, not all of them lost their way, but I heard their stories, and it was heartbreaking. And then they found their way back to what made them happy. Even though they went through life, music never left them. Yeah. It was, their soul. It was a part of their drive, their purpose. And, to hear that, and same thing for anyone else that's getting back into music, or may have had a hiccup or a challenge along the way. So to me, it's not about money. It's about this, just the joy of music, and all I could ever ask is to just please respect the craft and give what you can to keep the music going. Is something I always try to say. Like, it's not about money, but in order for us to thrive, please give what you can and respect the craft. That's all I'm asking.
Right.
You know?
And it's interesting because somebody told me a long time ago, if you can find something that you love enough that you do it even if you didn't get paid, and you happen to be able to get paid, you are blessed. Right? Because a lot of people don't necessarily like what they do, but they make a lot of money. Or there's people who have something that they do, but they love it, but nobody wants to necessarily buy it.
Right.
Or so when you can have both, that's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But when you talk about losing your voice, I know people hear it now. My voice has been doing some weird things too, and I never really realized how important it is until it starts acting up. You just take for granted that you're going to open your mouth and words are going to come out, right? So it is definitely one of those moments where I have said, oh my goodness, when my voice started acting, I was like, what if I really couldn't talk? Like, everything that I do is connected to this voice. Everything. So...
And you don't just have to be a vocalist. I tell people, you just don't have to be a vocalist to get vocal therapy. People need to talk. That's how important communication is. And so no matter what your profession is when it comes to vocalizing, speaking, professional speakers, there's people who do all sorts of things, even for yourself being on the radio and you talking every day, all
time.
Day. It's a powerful instrument.
So we just found out another thing, that therapy also is important because of your voice.
Yes,
you have a voice therapist.
I do. I'm a voice therapist.
So expanding the idea of therapy, I know that some people are like, oh, you don't need to go talk to anybody. Well, what are they going to do for me? There's so much research about being able to release tension, and talking releases tension. And it allows your brain and allows everything to just get a chance to woosah. Yeah. Talking it out. So believe it or not, talking, writing, having some type of art, be it poetry, be it singing, dancing, all of those things are so good for your mental health. Yeah. So dope. Thank you for sharing and being vulnerable and sharing that on
I know. I didn't say anything. You're the only. So this is the first time you're hearing it. It's exclusive. I didn't say anything. I didn't talk. Even when I couldn't speak, I didn't go online. I just repost stuff.
Well, she told me earlier. I said, well, are you a talker? She was like, well, it depends. And I was like, well, am I going to have to pull it out of you? She was like, She's like, well, it's going to depend on what you ask me. So it's been a joy, talking to you. I've always, your spirit from the moment, I was like, she just, you just have the spirit that you just want to hug you and just be near you and talk to you. I do have a bias because she's a Cancer just like me, and I feel like that's some of the Cancer energy in you. I've noticed your look and your style change over the years. Like, you become more sexy and more fabulous over the years. Yeah. Is that your doing, or is that behind the scenes part of the brand?
I just think it's growing. I think just finding my style. That's another thing, just growing into finding what you like and discovering yourself constantly. Last year, what I was thinking as far as style is different from this year and the year before. But I have realized I used to be not healthy, I would say. I used to think being skinny was, back in the days, if you were skinny, that was what the industry wanted. Now, it's like you need a BBL and whatever. And I will admit, I thought I needed one too. And then I had this conversation with my manager, Jay, and he's like, you don't need it. You just need your voice. All you need to do is be healthy. That's what's going to, what people are going to connect to. Yeah. So
I'm glad you brought that up, because I've noticed that you're not as slim as you used to be.
No. So and side note, it's just kind of like, I went to the doctors. He's like, you're too skinny. Like, you're anemic. You're this, you're that. So it's just like, oh, okay. So I had to make some life decisions, as far as like what's important, and the most important thing is to be healthy. So it doesn't matter, like, and beauty comes in different sizes, shapes, and forms. You just have to realize your body type, and you have to understand what that is for you. And I had to discover that. And so now I'm way much more happy with the results. Like I've been more healthy. Like I'm not anemic. I have a better appetite. When I get sick, I can bounce back faster because, when you're sick, you can't eat this and that. You lose weight. Your body pretty much breaks down. And if you're not healthy, that makes it harder for the recovery.
That is true.
And if you're an artist, you need to take care of yourself because you're constantly going out there, meeting people, going out there, whether if it's 90 degrees or 20 degrees. I was just outside at First Night Boston. It was like 20 something degrees, and it's just like, you have to be healthy.
Yeah. Those are some really good points. Can you believe we're almost wrapping up to the final hour? And so in closing, where can people find you, find your music, and what do you got going on next?
So you can find my music at nanciamusic.com. That's NANCIAMUSIC.com. You can also go to my Instagram where I post a majority of my content, fresh new content, and everything else. And what you can expect for 2024 is just more greatness. I do have a goal, but I'm a person who does not like to speak about things until I know for sure it's happening. And I'm in the works of making things happen, so stay tuned. I will say that 2024, I am excited for more creativity, and then at the same time, I'm hoping the business aspect of stuff and mentorship too. I'm excited for the girls. And Smokehouse Media.
Yes. I got to book me a photo shoot. Oh, let this go real quick.
The Urban Heat. Expect the unexpected. Unorthodox radio from Boston and beyond. Heat.a1fm.com and iHeart Station.
All right. You guys know what that means when Mark Harris comes on. It's time to wrap up Conversations with Coach La. So this has been a beautiful conversation. Shout out to everyone who has tuned in, who has listened from iHeartRadio and on Facebook. Sandra Jackson, Sonia, what's going on, girl? Thank you. The gifts were beautiful. We appreciate you. Pat Brown, Tamara, Shamina, thank you all. Nancia, Smokehouse Media, Jay Hunt, thank you for coming through. We got to definitely have you come back. And thank you for my new intro for season 6. So appreciate you guys all for listening. Till next time, keep having those conversations. Keep on being amazing. Keep on queening to all of the queens out there. Shout out to all my brothers. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow to the Morning Cafe. And you are listening to the Urban Heat 98.1 FM.